Hi, join me, Pastor Dr. Mrs. Julie Onovwiona, your relationship coach, as I bring to you relationship and marriage solutions. In my last video, I spoke on the need to have sex on daily basis. And my husband complimented that by saying it's possible to have sex on daily basis if you have the stamina. Stamina. Do you have the stamina for everyday sex? Well, I have a counter review. Mr. Ben is here now. What's your take on this?
Okay, fine. Before I start, I just want to just lay this bare. It is not so much of if you can ejaculate and have sex every day, but it's more of if you should. Because, of course, you know, it is not everything that you can do that you should do. So all things may be lawful, but not all things are expedient. That's what the Bible tells us.
That is it.
So you should look at it, not from a perspective of, oh, I have stamina. You should look at it from a perspective of, is it good for you to do it every day?
Well,
because
medical report says it's good to have sex every day because it helps in the cardiac function.
It helps overall good of the health.
Good of the body. Yes.
Okay, fine. Let's look at it from this way. You know, there's this law of diminishing returns that we were taught in economics. Every activity of a human being increases in satisfaction until it reaches a point beyond which, in fact, you begin to get diminished returns, right? It applies to sex and ejaculation. So if you are having sex every day and over a period, when you exceed your elastic limits, you begin to see decreased performance physically. Now, even aside that, if you look at people who are able to go multiple rounds, you discover that how you were able to perform first, second, third rounds is not how you are able to perform sixth, seventh rounds if you're able to go that far, right? If your recovery rate is short. So you discover that if you apply that same rule, it's the same for when you are ejaculating and having sex every day. You get to a point where you are diminished. And by the way, when you ejaculate, inside your semen is life energy, is sexual energy. Those sexual energy, the more you do it, your ability to focus, your ability to concentrate will reduce. Yes, it will reduce. And you discover that you'll be exposing yourself to depression and stress because you'll be comparing your performance with your previous performance, and of course, they can never be at par because of the law of diminishing returns. So whether or not you feel you have the stamina, because a lot of young people used to get caught in this trap. They believe that, oh, I'm young, I can do it. That you can do it does not mean you should do it. And it may not appear the first day, the second day, but definitely there are diminishing returns that are appearing in your body that you will soon find out. Well, so that you can do it does not mean you should do it.
I also discovered that some even go as far as using Viagra to enhance their performance. Is it right?
Okay.
Especially these young ones now, they do it a lot. You see them buying all this Viagra to enhance the performance.
My take is that why you see how the strength, the Bible says the strength of the youths, the glory of the youth is in their strength. Why still having the strength as a youth? Not.
Are you saying they should concentrate all their strength?
If you have the drive, you have the drive and stamina. Like when I was still a youth and much younger, I had the drive and stamina, and I could go almost as long as the woman was available.
That reminds me. In those days, he used to sleep with 3 women at the same time.
Oh my God!
Sleep when he turns.
That's an orgy.
Oh my God!
When he turns this way, he will have sex with Lara.
Oh my God!
To his left hand side, sex with Bimbo.
And that was then.
And at the center,
All things are passed away.
All things. He diverted his energies.
You could do all of that without needing to go on Viagra.
No, without any enhancement. I had the strength
as
a youth, honestly.
But were you able to do other things, perform other, things aside from sex?
Of course, of course.
Okay.
I was able to do well in my studies.
Oh, okay, that was in
I
the
was able
past.
in the past, but that is past.
Okay, but for me, sir, this is it. Because if we're doing a comparison now, what you find out is that on the average, and this is a world average now, on the average, you see that the testosterone level of men decreases over the years.
Yeah.
The average 20-year-old, 25-year-old, the testosterone level
It's very hard.
30 years ago is higher than
No.
the same testosterone level for the 20-year-old now, because of a lot of factors. The issues of phones, those radiations, the food we eat, all the sugars.
Stress.
In your days, you had more of natural foods than all the processed foods that we're having now, because those are a problem. But back to the question of if a man should use Viagra to aid his performance. The truth of the matter is this. If right now you are not able to meet the sexual requirement of your spouse and taking Viagra will help you, please go ahead and take.
No,
Let me tell you,
effect on the body, side effects, right?
see, when I say go ahead and take,
Subject to medical advice
Good.
on the dose and all that.
now the thing is this: Viagra or Cialis or any of those aphrodisiacs, right? They have an entry level dose, and you have to know what dose you require. But usually, if you start with the minimum dose, you shouldn't have a problem. But it's always advised that you seek medical help. And in fact, before you use Viagra at all, there's something that men do not bother to find out. Go to a lab, run a test, know what your testosterone level is. Your problem may not be that you're not able to perform. It may just be that you're stressed. Because the number one killer of performance for men is actually stress. That's why you discover that anxiety, worry, concern, oocytes. You know oocytes?
Oh my God.
Do you know what anxiety?
Actually, funny enough, oocytes actually helps some men, because if there's no money, the only thing that the man can do is actually sex. So for some men who are able to detach themselves from the fact that they don't have money, they're able to actually perform better when oocytes hits them.
Some women
But some-
send you no sex.
Okay, that is Kosovo.
No money, no sex.
Kosovo.
Even in the home front.
Yeah, a bad guy.
Even in the home front.
Even in the no, but funny enough, some women actually do that. They use sex to punish the husband.
Yeah.
And somebody was saying it, and my wife was like, people still do that kind of thing in this.
It's not fair. It's not.
And do you know
not healthy.
It's not.
healthy.
Yeah.
It's not.
Recently, I discovered that to deny yourself sex is punishable under the law.
Yeah.
I am telling you, I met a lawyer, a barrister, few days ago, and we're talking about this issue. And he told me, under the law, if you deny your wife, it is an offense, and it is a yardstick for divorce and
In the
separation.
face of the law.
I am telling you. So I've told the barrister I'm going to be inviting him for a section like this, so that he will advise couples on how to make sure that they keep themselves sexually active, so that
I
you
think
don't have to find.
I think we should not bring the lawyer, because I think it should.
I'm going to bring the lawyer because the law is against sexual denial. So if you have been denying your spouse sex, be ready.
You are already far
Be
away.
ready.
You know why I think it's going to be a problem? Because I don't think that there's going to be a prescription of punishment for the man if he denies the wife the sex, right? It's not like, oh, you go to jail for 7 years if you deny your wife sex. So if the man wants to punish the wife, the man may indirectly be punishing her and say, okay, fine, since you know now that if I deny you, you can ask for divorce, so you ask for divorce. So if I am perceiving that it might actually lead to more problems than actually solving it. Well,
No, but a lot of people don't know, especially those that deny themselves sex. They may not know that it is under the law of this nation that you must not deny yourself sex. except on health ground. And both parties must understand the fact that, okay, my husband has this issue. That's why he's not having sex with me, or my wife has this issue.
Yeah, that understanding has to be there. Because even the Bible, spiritually too, is wrong. Because the Bible says that you cannot be going on fasting without permission from the spouse. So even spiritually, biblically, it's wrong. And it's nice to hear that even legally it's wrong.
It is wrong. Don't expect the lawyer will be on ground in my next session to tackle this issue for those that are still denying themselves. The next question is from a man who says the wife is threatening for divorce as a result of his small dick. Is dick, should it be enough reason for a woman to seek for divorce?
I think we should start.
The size of the dick of your the size of the dick of your husband should not be enough reason for you to seek to even think of it, to conceive it in your mind. Because marriage is, before he fell into it, he knew that he had a small dick.
No. Don't say that. Like some of us, we married out of without having sex before we got married. But a lot of women who married without even seeing the signs.
Without even knowing. You shouldn't explore each other before marriage.
Yes.
Biblical, which is right.
Yeah.
Fine and good.
But honey, let me say something.
You see, having entered into marriage, you should my advice is that you should just endure it.
Yeah. Wait. You know we had this issue because in those days, in those days, the size of the dick used to frighten me. Anytime we were almost about having sex, and I see the size of the dick, I imagine in my heart, where did this dick enter with this tiny body? And because of that, I'll be crying because I'm so innocent in those days. So I'll be crying, and by the time he will come and say, no, I'm not interested, because of the fear of the dick. And I didn't see it. We were not privileged to have sex before we got married. So for those of us in my shoes, why would you say that?
No, you should be singing Arokoyo.
You see, wonderful.
Like bad boy.
Why the other person is complaining of small things, and then I am complaining of.
Yes, me I complain because it was so frightening, so frightening. When I look at it, I say this one will tear my body. I didn't know. Funny enough, that time, immediately after having sex, I always have a tear because of the fear. I must always have a tear, and for days I'll be walking as if somebody.
But there's really a solution to everything.
No, but
I say there's no solution.
Yeah.
You know, the issue of foreplay, the issue of having quality time together before sex could resolve even the problem with small dick and the problem with big dick.
Yeah, it will. And because the issue with the big dick, many people don't understand that the woman needs to be lubricated before you penetrate. Every penetration that is without lubrication will always lead to pain for the woman.
Yes.
So the lubrication is very, very important for the woman to enjoy sex. You know, it can last 2 hours and the woman will just be there enduring pain.
Yes.
If she's not lubricated before penetration, and it will just make all the penetration to be like zero. So if the woman is not lubricated, there's nothing wrong in getting lubricants, right? Water-based lubricants that are healthy for the vagina, because there are those that are not healthy. We'll leave a list of some of them that are healthy, so you can just get them, keep them in your bedroom. It will help your love life, because once the sex is good, then of course the relationship will hardly go through turbulence or survive turbulence when it actually goes through it.
Thank you very much.
Whichever side of the divide you belong, please know that there is a solution.
Okay, for women, Christian women in particular, who are going through this, who cannot speak out, who are going these issues of dick, either small or big, who cannot speak out, what is your advice for them?
Okay, so if the dick is too small, right? The reason why you knew it's too small is because you probably had a previous experience. And if you're not careful, yes, because usually if you're having it for the first time, no dick will be too small. So if you know that the dick is too small, it's because you have a previous experience, but that's not even a problem.
No, but there are some who has never had such experience. Maybe their vagina is, their potty is deep.
And so how will they know how deep it is?
No, if they are not
they will only know how deep it is if they've had a previous experience that was deeper. Because if it's the first time, however deep the man goes, she will assume that that's how deep it's supposed to be. But that's not even a problem, because usually it's an understanding from the man, knowing the wife's trigger points, right?
Okay.
We will actually solve all of this problem. But most times, the woman complaining that, oh, my husband is not able to satisfy me, who probably has previous experience, is now probably comparing the husband's performance with a previous experience, which is also wrong. What the wife needs to do is communicate what her trigger point is. Oh, sweetheart, if you touch my breast, or if you suck my breast, or if you use hand to rub my body, or if you finger me, or if you do this, or, you know, just communicate all of those. Even if it is just for some ladies, dirty talk does it. For some ladies, you have to caress and do a lot of foreplay. So it is the responsibility of that woman, rather than seek for divorce, to communicate what things it is that actually pleasure her. Because come to think about it, there are lesbians who actually enjoy sex.
Yeah.
There are ladies who masturbate that actually enjoy sex, even though we may not recommend those as healthy Christian practices. But for them to be able to enjoy it shows you that you can actually have a healthy sexual relationship without huge, vigorous sexual penetration from a dick. So the dick problem is not so big that the woman should be looking for divorce. What the woman needs to do is communicate what her pleasure points are, her trigger points, so that the husband can understand and work on that. So it's understanding from both sides.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ben and Pastor.